Hey, good morning, everybody, and happy Friday. I call it Freedom Friday from an old business that I used to be partnered with in my shooting instruction. A lot of you don't know that for a long time I was a long distance shooting instructor and built custom rifles. That'll be part of the video today. But to round out the week and going through our prepping series, I'll start a little bit different. I'm still sitting at the gas station that I showed you the other day because I want to show you something real quick. Let's talk about medical supplies and medicine. So a lot of you don't know I work for a rehabilitation facility, medical rehabilitation, not addiction, and pretty good sized facility. And I've been there a couple years now. I run maintenance and I'm over housekeeping too. And I've learned a lot since I've been there, and honestly a lot that scares me about getting older, but just keeps it in the front of my mind that you got to be ready when something happens with medical supplies, because boy, when we run out of something or a surprise comes up, it's all systems go. So you got to have medical supplies, even in your vehicle. Your vehicle, in my opinion, is going to be where you're going to use it the most when you're out and about right now. But in a bad situation, grid down situation, SHTF, whatever, you're going to need it more. So just wanted to kind of show you, it could be a small kit. I keep this in my truck for quick response. I've had a situation before where I came across a really bad accident and I was the only one there. We were out in the middle of nowhere and I had to help these guys. And I wasn't prepared, honestly. There's nothing I could have done for them anyway, but I realized I wasn't prepared. So, little kit that I put together. It's got all your basics. It's got wraps. It's got Band-Aids. It's got the swabs. It's got the tape. It's got the bigger bandages up here. It's not an all-in-all kit. I've even got pens and Sharpies because you never know what you're going to need. But it's a really good kit to keep in your vehicle. Okay, something I realized today. School started. My kids are all grown now, so I don't have to deal with this. But that pushed everybody out in traffic today, so that's driving me crazy. That's why I wanted to start there at the gas station and kind of show you, and then we'll take the normal route to work. So it could encompass everything. I try to keep things, like I said, I'm 50 years old. I have been extremely rough on my body, and it pays, or I'm paying for it now. So I saw a great meme a while back ago, and I've just never forgot it because boy is it me. And it was, I can do as much as 800 milligrams of ibuprofen will allow. And boy, if that's not the truth. So, kind of to show you, it is the truth. I keep it in my truck here with me. All right. So, your regular medications that you need, Tylenol, ibuprofen, allergy medication. That's a big one. As I got older, I got allergies. So, sorry about we had some cloud cover and I didn't think we were going to get much. All right, let's go this way. Allergy medications. I mean, it could be as simple as eye drops and your regular Band-Aids. If you do like I do, I'm in the garden and I'm building greenhouses and raised beds and that kind of stuff all the time. I'm always cutting myself, that kind of thing. It could be Neosporin. So all your normal stuff. But the thing that I've really learned working at the facility that I work at now is things for infection. So one thing that I did not know about until recently, and if you haven't had the opportunity, or I should say the downfall, to have to deal with it, consider yourself lucky for one. But UTIs, urinary tract infection, that was one of the biggest shockers that I think I've ever had going into this medical industry. I've been in security and maintenance and that kind of thing for a very long time. but never in a medical facility. And a simple urinary tract infection. Now, I don't want to just focus on that, but because it happens so often, and I see it so often, you become a whole different person. You just about lose your mind on the extreme side, you know, when you get a bad one. People don't know who they are. I won't even say who it was, but, you know, I've known one person that they thought people were living in the walls and watching them in a mobile home. Those walls aren't thick enough to be in. So you've got to keep that stuff under control. Now, if I do slip, well, there's going to be one company I say. I'm not affiliated with anybody. I am a new YouTuber. I don't even consider myself a YouTuber yet. But I'm new to this content creation or ranting or whatever you want to call it. So, not many followers. I'm not affiliated with anybody. I hope nobody takes offense. But the one that I do know of, and I learned about it from Canadian Prepper, another channel, and I ended up buying, and that's where that all came from, but Jace Medical out of Canada. There's a couple other companies that I hear about now that you can get antibiotic kits from. Now, if you can afford that, let's be honest, it's not cheap. I mean, I think mine was 200 and some bucks. I can't remember exactly. They were really easy to work with. It was super easy online, and within days I got the kit. So I was actually very shocked at how easy it was. But if you get an infection, now there's been all kinds of, let me finish that, I guess. If you get an infection, that could be the end of you in a SHTF situation. And you don't want that. Something as simple as thinking about it now and getting some antibiotics to put away in the cupboard could have saved your life or your family's life. So there's been all kinds of things. So in case you don't know, I've watched a ton of videos. I'm not an expert on it, but most of your antibiotics come out of China. And there has been issues with getting certain antibiotics and medications that we really need. And I think it's horrible that we have depended on China that honestly many times we don't have good relationships with. And it's nothing against China specifically. I don't think we should outsource our medication to any country, because that's going to be, I mean, think about it, totally hypothetical, but let's say we ever got into it with China. They cut off our medication shipments, and what's going to happen to the United States? I see people on a daily basis that are on so many medications that if they don't take them, they'll die very quickly. It could be diabetes. Some people have diabetes really, really bad. And I mean, I don't know the levels. I'm not trying to say I do. But it's one of those that I've seen people go into diabetic comas. And there's a lot of us out there that are overweight. I've never been diagnosed with diabetes or even high blood pressure, thank goodness. But in the United States, we have a lot of us that way too. So, I mean, a quick, easy way to get to us would be cut off our medications. So I think we need to really I'm a firm believer in bringing everything back inside the United States and becoming self-sufficient, or as self-sufficient as we can, just like I'm a firm believer of trying to produce and be as self-sufficient as you can at home. We don't all have big farms. I mean, I told you, I don't either. I'm not self-sufficient, not even close, honestly, but I'm doing everything I can to produce as much food as I can. Like I told you with solar, I started to produce power. So the United States needs to follow what preppers have known for a long time, I guess is an easy way to say it. So back to what, I got off track. Diabetes, could be cancer medications. I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't even know how you would go about getting more of those type of medications. But if you're on medications, talk to your doctor and try to find a way to have a stash at home. Now, the problem is with a lot of those medications, they're not replenishable if it was to ever go away. Now, This is all hypothetical, and we sure hope it doesn't happen. So don't think I'm saying it's going to even happen. I don't know. I'm not an expert on that, but I'm prepared in case it does. So think about whatever medications you're on. Think about what you take on a daily basis. I mean, it could be something as simple as one of my best friends that used to live with me. He just couldn't sleep without melatonin. I mean, something as simple as you buy it over the counter. But you ought to make sure the stuff that you can buy right now over the counter, make sure you have plenty of it. You know, go to your bigger stores, Sam's Club, Costco, that kind of stuff, and make sure you've got plenty of ibuprofen and you got plenty of Tylenol. Think about cold medications, because man, when you get the flu, something like that in a SHTF situation or worse, what are you gonna do if you can't breathe and you can't sleep? You know, that kind of stuff. For instance, for me, NyQuil knocks me out. NyQuil, that name for me is up there with like 3M. You know, if you buy that product, it's gonna work. If I take that, I'm out. So yeah, your cold and flu medications, that kind of stuff. Now, I'm not quite sure yet how YouTube is. I've kind of kept most of my gun stuff away from YouTube because I've heard that it can mess up. They'll flag it and they'll take your stuff down, and so I really don't want to go there. I don't want to be that one, even though there's a lot I want to talk about. I've been a shooting instructor for a long time. I've taught everything from concealed carry to self-defense to I found my niche in long-range shooting and building long-range rifles. So I'm not going to dwell on this, but we all have to be able to protect ourselves. And if you're a knife expert, awesome. Make sure you have a knife and have the right ones. If you are relying on guns, which I am one that does, you better make sure you have the refuel, the freedom seeds, let's say, for Freedom Friday, to operate those boomsticks. That's costly, and I know that's costly. So just kind of think about it now. The best advice I can give you is have different platforms that use the same freedom seeds. So I don't care what your personal opinion is, but let's say a 9. You've got a handheld, you've got a long, you can even get it in the AR platform, which honestly I love. A lot of people don't, but I do. I've got a folding one, folding rifle that uses it. You've got many different platforms that can use that same ammo. So, and it's that way with everything. So I just kind of wanted to bring that up in today's talk about making sure you have that. Something that I see people overlook a lot is make sure you have enough cleaning supplies for the boomsticks, and lube, especially lube. We used to go through thousands and thousands of rounds when I would do a class, and the lube was the main thing. If I didn't keep those guns in top shape, they would stop. I mean, they would malfunction. There would be all kinds of problems, and you don't want that. And who knows if that's going to be available in a really bad situation, even a grit down situation. So make sure you have the tools to take care of the boomsticks and the cleaning, the lubrication, all that stuff that you need to keep it in operation. On another note, just because it triggered, and I'm gonna squirrel for a minute. Same thing with your vehicle. Make sure you have oil, a little bit of. You can't just you can't go out there and buy everything, but you probably want to make sure you have enough for your next oil change in your garage. At least you want to have an air pump for tires. You want just anything mechanical out there. You want to at least have a little bit. Because once it goes down, if you can't get it, you might be up shit's creek. So just trying to put that idea in your head. It's been a good first week. on YouTube. I'm pretty surprised that I did it. I feel like I've gotten more comfortable because I was terrified, honestly, about getting in front of the camera. I've never been good in front of a camera. But get out there, make connections. Just this morning in the gas station, I ran into what was probably my best friend in the world, not even in the military. And, oh, we got an accident. Let's let this big guy in front of us go. So, get back to meeting people you trust, to where if things like this happen, because it's going to be tough. You can't just trust everybody. When bad things happen, people that were the worst people in the world can fake it and come up and, oh, we can put our differences aside and, you know, that kind of thing. And don't believe it. They're going to revert back to who they are. People always do. So just kind of a reminder, meet up with your neighbors and kind of know who they are. You don't have to be best friends with them if you don't want to, but you want to be cordial with them. You want to be on that level that if they need something or if you need something, you know each other well enough, you can come ask. You're willing to at least help, because in a real stressful situation, you don't want your enemy living next door. There's no way that you can keep your eye on people when they live that close to you, and you want to hope that you don't have to worry about the person next door. So a little bit of a rant for Freedom Friday, and this weekend I'm gonna try to gear more towards some vegetable and gardening videos, see if I can't do some from the house. I think I've gotten pretty comfortable within the truck, but part of it's because I'm in my baby, and this is my comfort zone anyway. So we'll try and do some more gardening videos, and we're going to branch out, see what we can come up with. Again, if you like this, give it a like, help me out a little bit. If you follow me, I'll turn around and probably follow you if you have a channel. We can help each other out. And if you don't like it, then hopefully you'll give me another chance, because I'm learning like everybody else. And so far, I just like doing it. So happy Friday, everybody, and we'll see you this weekend.